So this lady mantis has been camping out on my porch like a champ, eating all the bugs, I'm assuming. I thought it was dead, but it's just camping out. I'm gonna take it as a good omen, though. I think, I don't know what the Zen philosophy on praying mantises are, but I think it's a good thing. Maybe you guys could comment down below on that. Alright guys, and welcome back. So, got some music playing in the background. Figure you guys might like that. Let's get on with the video. I love this stuff. Really freshens up the place, you know. Today's video is going to be scripted, and it is on the Four Currencies. That's the name of this video, actually, the Four Currencies, and it's scripted. Been trying to make this video for a while, and with the people that I follow, they talk a lot about this. They talk a lot about these currencies and how they represent currencies. So, it's the Four Currencies, man. Money, time, sleep, courage. So we'll dive right into the first one, so that way I can just get this video going. But money, you know, we work for it, we spend it, we save it, we waste it, and it's probably one of the hardest things that we got, you know, in our lives and what we got going for us. Just because the fact that, you know, it's either never enough or it's just enough, you know. And I think it's important with money that if we're really tight on it, or even if we're really wealthy, I think a good rule of thumb is to live below your means, or at least use your finances in a way where you're getting that cash flow going, like in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, you got to get either the cash flow going or find ways of making more money. And so with that, you want to be able to set your priorities in order with your finances. And living below your means kind of helps you out with that, because you're getting the cheaper things that you could get versus, well, okay, the cheaper things that you're able to buy versus the things that you want to get that are more expensive. Yet you could get by with nicer clothes at a thrift store versus just buying them at JCPenney's or Macy's, you know, things like that. Maybe it depends on your way of living, what you have, what you don't have. Minimalism is a good practice to get into, especially if you're trying to save money and put money towards a business. I see nothing wrong with that at all. So, save that for another video, minimalism. Might be diving into a whole can of worms right there. But I think it's important to know that money, I mean, as a main source, it is our own functioning currency, different kinds of money. So with that, learn to manage your finances better. Learn to create that cash flow, whatever you have to do, whether it's a side hustle, working 2 jobs, your main job, maybe starting an online business, maybe it's getting a web page going, maybe it's a blog, I don't know, vlog, something. There's tons of ideas for money and how we use it. But the point is like, you want to get to a state, or at least that place in your life, where you're not having to work so much and lose so much money in this give and take vicious cycle. There's ways out of it. But things suck when you get into debt. Yet debt creates credit, or you could be debt free and have great credit. So it all just depends. But money. Create a good cash flow, whether you have a main job that you're working at, you're doing a side hustle, have to work 2 jobs, and get your own agenda going. Keep pushing towards your own agenda. Quit pushing towards your own business, because everybody in a sense, is always about and doing their own thing, and is always about their own business. So that's the first one. Time. Some questions you got to ask yourself is, what are you spending your time on? Are you wasting it? And if you are wasting it, what are you wasting it on? Who are you wasting it on? Is another question. So, the value of time. So what I do is I set up a schedule. I have a schedule in my phone, and I have a schedule that I write out for myself. That way I have visual cues along with the notifications on my phone to tell me where I'm at the day, what hour it is, where I have to be, what I'm doing. And I always try to plan ahead if I can. Sometimes I do things last minute, and I do them sporadically, like if I'm on dates or if I'm hanging out with a group of friends, things like that. Definitely blocking out your time, whether it's in 30-minute intervals or if it's hour by hour or maybe every 2 hours. That really makes a difference in how your schedule is set up and what your structure is. And the deeper meaning of value of time is like, how are you spending it? What are you spending it on? Are you meditating daily for at least 10 minutes? Are you reading for 30 minutes a day? There's different ways you could approach that. You could try and get 7 pages or 10 pages done in a day from a book that you are trying to get through that's going to help improve on your finances or help improve in your business, self-help, what have you. Maybe it's a good piece of fiction fantasy that is very inspiring and you want to get a couple pages. Are you getting your workouts in on time? Are you getting to work on time? Are you spending enough time on your business, on your side hustle? What are you doing? Who are you spending time with? Are you spending time with people that are bringing more value to your life and like or love you for you? Or are you wasting it on toxic relationships? And this also comes into relationships too, as well, between guys and girls. Who are you dating? Who is your girlfriend? Or if you're a girl watching this, who is your boyfriend? Are they toxic to you? Are they draining you? Time is a valuable currency. And I think it's important to definitely know what you want when it comes to time. Same aspects of money. This is all all these points are going to be tied in together too. So, but for me, just to kind of speak aloud there, it's hard to get out of those relationships too, because it soon becomes your identity, especially if you're really in love or if you're really into this person. You can even be in love yet, but it's like you got to figure out between your friendships and the kind of guys, women, guys that you're dating. Are they worth your time? Are they valuable to your life? And you can pre-qualify it too. There are ways to do that, but I'm not going to get into it. That's going to waste this time on the video. But there's always, you never know who you're going to meet, even if you leave that person. And a good rule of thumb is like, what can you give to them? And if they're healthy, and what I mean by healthy is if they're healthy-minded, a lot of that ties in, but if they're healthy-minded and what they want in a relationship, what can they give to you? Relationships are all about giving. So time. What are you spending it on? Who are you spending it on? Are you wasting it? Who are you wasting it on? What are you wasting it on? It's a very valuable thing. Oh, and I'm just going to throw that out there. No fab. Is it a waste of time, or is it going to make you a better person? Think about it. So, time. Sleep. Your sleep helps you, but if neglected, it works against you. This is a big one. Sleep is so valuable, guys. That is definitely a valuable currency, because if you get into sleep debt and you try to sleep in on the weekends, which occasionally happens to me just because of how my shift works and what my work week is like, it will mess up part of your life, at least your sleeping life. It is so detrimental to your health, guys. And if you make health your number one priority and you want to make sure that you are healthy, get better sleep. Practice waking up at the same time every day. So there's a thing where if you want to get up at a certain time, say you have a 5-day or 7-day week, and you want to get up at a certain time every day, start getting up earlier, try setting your alarm for 15 minutes to the hours. Like say you want to start getting up at like 8:45. Okay, so go ahead and just set your alarm for 8:45. And say you're consistently waking up at like 9. So you set your alarm for 8:45 and you get up and you're going to be a little tired. It's going to suck. But you do that for about a period of 5 days to 7 days in a week. Then bump it up another 15 minutes starting Monday. So then you're going to wake up at 8:30. And you do that for an entire week. Maybe even less. Maybe you could do it for 3 days or 5 days. And then bump it up another 15 minutes. Start waking up at 8:15. And then within that following week, almost a 3-week period or more, depending on who you are, everybody's different. It could take 4 or 3 weeks. And then by that next Monday, if you're waking up another 15 minutes earlier by 8 o'clock, you just worked your way into waking up an hour earlier from where you started before. And now you're able to get more done. But you also want to make sure that you're going to bed on time too. So waking up at the same time every day and going to bed at the same time every night is key. Consistent sleep is key. That will help you in the long run. It will help you out with everything that you hope and dream for sleep. And your health will be better. Your workouts will be better. Your time with people and what your tasks are during the day will be better. You'll be more focused and you won't be distracted, airheaded, tired, lightheaded, dizzy, whatever, what have you. Or maybe getting headaches. I know that if I sleep in past my regular schedule, like if I slept until 1 today, I probably would get a headache and I'd go to bed earlier that night. It messes you up. So try to get consistent sleep. Depending on what's going on, consistency is key, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and have a good time with your guy friends or girlfriends. Go out and have a good time with them, but just remember that consistency is key. So maybe a majority of the weekends out of the month, you don't go out and maybe you go out like once a month. That's not a bad thing. It all just depends on your lifestyle. So, sleep. Sleep is key. Sleep is another currency. But, it just kind of ties into not going to bed at random times. Because if you're going to bed at random times every day of the week or every couple of days, your sleep is always going to be off. Your sleep is never going to be consistent, and you're not going to kill your workouts. You're not going to get the health that you want. You're not going to be as cognitive up here and conscious. You're not going to be as focused. So, currency number 3, sleep. And the last one is courage. Courage is a big one. And what I mean by courage is like standing up for yourself, saying what needs to be said, stating what you want. Whether it comes to family, friends, co-workers, guys, girlfriends. It's the fact that there's so much unsaid that when things go unsaid and you really needed to say something in the moment, it kind of kills you. And you realize that you should have said those things in the moment versus, just trying to bring it up later, like a year later or something, or maybe a week or a month later, whatever the situation is. But it's so important to practice that because when you don't use it, you're wasting it. And it does take courage to ask for what you want in life. It does take courage to make a big financial decision. It does take courage to branch out and travel, or to leave your current job to move on to a new one. You just never know what you're going to find out there. You never know what you could find that could be better than where you're at. Because the only thing that's consistent is change, guys. And as we change and grow, we become better versions of ourselves. We become more than ourselves. And that's so important. So when you neglect those opportunities where you didn't take the job, where you didn't ask for the promotion, where you didn't ask that girl out, where you didn't stick up and tell your family that you wanted to do this and they were telling you to live your life this certain way or to settle. Those things take a toll on you as a person because you're not vocalizing it to them in the moment for yourself, even though you might be going through with it and they have no idea what you're doing, you know. So when you speak that, you tell people who you are, and then they see who you are, and they'll either accept it or reject it. There's no problem with that. You know, you have to put yourself out there. That's what takes courage too, putting yourself out there and seeing what the world gives back to you, because the world is either going to accept what your gift is or it's going to reject it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're still being you. That's the other thing. That's the other aspect of courage. You got to be yourself. Be more than yourself, but be yourself. And like I said, getting back to, you know, change is consistent. Things may change in your life that you once loved that you don't love anymore, or that you don't like anymore, that you like that you don't like anymore. And you might want to pursue new avenues, and then you find fulfillment in that avenue. I mean, change is the only thing that's consistent. So in order to have consistent change in your life, you have to be courageous. You have to use courage. You have to speak up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Speak your truth. So, and that's it, guys. That's the 4 currencies of life. So, yeah. All right. Well, I like to train out this angle. I like having some music in the background today. So, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.